And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ross Memorial Park in Washington, Pennsylvania. Today on the PAC Sports Network, it is the opener of the PAC Baseball Championships. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Pyles. Today in our opening broadcast, it's the number 2-seeded Thiel Tomcats against the 3rd-seeded Thomas More Saints. Glad to have you along for today's tournament, and really throughout the next 3 days should be a fun time, as many of the contests last year that we were here for, very exciting affairs, down to the wire type games, and we're looking forward to more of that again this season, and a great pair of teams to start this off. Two teams very similar in a sense where they can hit the heck out of the ball, and they also can pitch pretty well, and should be interesting to see how this one goes down today in our opener.
Yeah, two teams that kind of play the same way, but their paths here and their history, their recent history in the PAC is very different. Thiel reaching the PAC tournament for the first time in a few years. Thomas More seemingly in the tournament every year, has been in the tournament every year, and has been a recent back-to-back winner. So a couple teams here, like you said, very strong pitching, and I'm really looking forward to the hitting in this game. Both teams can absolutely rake the baseball. This could be a high-scoring game if we can get the wind up here to pick up a little bit. It's a nice sunny day right now, but I've seen the wind up here on this hill where at Ross Memorial Park in Washington, where when it starts whipping, balls can fly out of here in a hurry.
And these teams certainly have the power to do so, and I'm sure you'll talk a little bit more about it whenever he comes to the plate. But Jared Nana hit a fly ball, one of the games you were here for against W&J that, as you put it, still might not have landed. So the ball can certainly leave the yard, and when you have power bats that both of these teams possess, we could see a lot of runs today. However, Paul Ewell, the starting pitcher for the Thomas More Saints, and Nick Rossmiller, the starter for the Thiel Tomcats, they may have other thoughts in mind. Both have been terrific this year. As for Rossmiller, he's 7-3 on the season with a 2.84 ERA. Ewell, meanwhile, in 9 starts, is 5-1 with a 3.86 earned run average. So both outstanding starters. Good pitching matchup. We'll run down the starting lineups for you in just a bit. But first, we do have some interviews for you, some pregame conversations with the head coaches of both of these squads. Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Thomas More Saints, and Joe Shalley, the head coach of the Thiel Tomcats. We'll be speaking with them here momentarily as we'll go to those interviews. But both of these teams are not only similar in their styles, but also exact same PAC record this year, 17-7 overall. The Thiel Tomcats did take 2 of 3 from Thomas More in the regular season, hence why they are the 2-seed in this tournament against the 3-seed Thomas More Saints. But as we spoke with Joe Shalley, and again, you're going to hear from both coaches momentarily, Joe Shalley said, all of the records head-to-head this year, that's all well and good, where Thiel actually had the better of all of these teams in the tournament, all 4 teams, or the 3 others that they're facing here in this double elimination tournament. But as you get off the bus, it's all 0-0 now, and double elimination tournament, and we'll see who gets it done by Saturday.
Yeah, and Thiel is the new squad in here. The other 3 teams were in this tournament last year, so they're a little more familiar with the event. You think a team like Thiel, maybe an upstart team, would be here just, they're glad they made it. They're happy to be here. Now, they have the power, and they're looking to win it right now. And they're a team. They're a very dangerous team. You interviewed Coach Hetzer, and he mentioned that about Thiel. They're not here just to be happy, or they're not happy just to be here. They're looking to win it, and they certainly have the horses to do that.
Yeah, the overall marks for these two teams, Thiel 24-16 entering today's play, and the Thomas More Saints 27-12, and again, both with 17-7 PAC records, as they will do battle here at Ross Memorial Park. As we mentioned, our coach interviews, we're going to go to those right now, starting with Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Thomas More Saints, and we'll have more when we come back live from Ross Memorial Park. Opening pitch of the PAC Baseball Championships. We talk now with Thomas More head coach Jeff Hetzer. Coach, the Saints have been a model of consistency since entering the PAC and are in the tournament once again for the 8th straight year. Now, how's your program been able to stay so good for so long?
I think it's kids. It's obviously the kids we brought in have bought into a system of, competing and not making a lot of mistakes, and just brought up being winners pretty much. So that's the biggest thing, is just buying into a system. And obviously, when you have success, it's a little easier to buy into, so that helps.
Now, you have a pretty well-balanced team this year, 3rd in the league in hitting, 2nd in the league in pitching. What's been the key to your team's success this year?
It's been our pitching. We've got a lot of seniors through our top four. Our seniors, so everything revolves around them. The other thing has just been a year experience. Last year at this time we talked about it was a fairly new team, even though we've always been here. It was first guys getting on the field, and so expectations this year are a little different. I mean, guys, they wanted to get back to the spot. Now that we're here, we're hoping we can go a little bit farther than just two and barbecue. So we'll see what happens.
Your lineup boasts two of the top run producers in the PAC, and Cody Macon and Ryan Darner. What makes them so good?
The guys in front of them, DK and Jason got to be on base because otherwise there's no RBI opportunities. So, I mean, if those two are setting the table, then we feel pretty confident with RD and Cody knocking them in. But it all starts with those first two. They got to get on base for us.
Thomas More also has the conference leader in ERA and David Etchide working primarily out of the bullpen. How nice is it to have a reliable arm to turn to in the late innings and a guy who can go multiple innings at that?
I think it's big, especially at this level. At this level, if you can play even through 6 and then get into a bullpen, which I think with him and Andy Ronker, they've been two guys that have really shortened games for us. So if we can keep it close and have a lead, we feel really good with those two, especially David. I mean, he's had a heck of a senior year, and he's had one bad outing, that really ballooned his ERA to 1.8. Otherwise, he's under a 1. But it's nice. Like I said, if we can keep it close, have the lead, we feel really confident that we can close out with those two. At the same time, we need our starters. I mean, they got to go more than 5-6 innings. We got to get 6-7 innings out of them because otherwise you're going to abuse those two. And in a tournament setting, they've got to be able to go more than 5 innings. If we got to keep going to that bullpen day after day, then that's going to take the advantage that we feel we have in the bullpen.
You mentioned the tournament setting, and kind of in regards to Etchide's work in this tournament, will you use him in single inning situations to allow for multiple days of work potentially, or that depends on the situation?
It's going to depend on the situation. I mean, in the tournament, winning the first one is so big. So I mean, there could be a situation he goes 2-3 innings today if we have the lead. In an ideal world, it's 1 each day, and that way we could possibly bring him back to start Saturday, and if necessary, game something like that, because we feel he is one of the better pitchers in the league. So,
let's start off the PAC tournament today. Your Saints faced the Thiel Tomcats, a team that you actually had a losing record against this year, which was a rarity. But tell us about them and what makes them so tough.
They're really fundamentally sound. I mean, Coach Shalley does a tremendous job with those guys. They don't make any errors. They don't beat themselves. They got a couple guys on the hill. We'll probably see Ross Miller, I'm guessing, today, 2-time National Pitcher of the Week, for gosh sake. So and they've got a lot of seniors with Steiniger and Hanna, and I think they're one of the favorites to win. It was a tough draw for us having to get them, but we'll see. Hopefully our guys can respond and meet the challenge, because it's definitely going to be a tough challenge today.
And after winning back-to-back PAC titles in 2010 and 2011, the Saints obviously missing out on the championship last year. How hungry is your group to bring the trophy back home to Thomas More this year?
I don't know if it's hungry. I think we just want to play better. I mean, last year, you were here, we left 25 guys on base in 2 games. I think we broke every NCAA record you could possibly break. So it wasn't a matter of not getting them on base. We just didn't get them in. We lost 2-1, 2-1. And like I said, going in last year, it was getting guys on base, but more importantly, trying to knock them in, and that was the fear of having an inexperienced team. I think this year now we're all a year older. I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot different, but like I said, with Ross Miller on the mound, who knows? Opportunities are going to be far and few between. We've got to cash in on those.
It's Thomas More head coach Jeff Hetzer. Thanks for your time, and good luck to you and your team in the tournament.
Thank you.
You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
As we continue our way in the pregame, we chat now with Thiel head coach Joe Shalley. Coach, the Tomcats are back in the PAC tournament for the first time since 2009. Now, how nice is it to be back, and tell us about your season and how fun of a ride it's been so far?
Oh, it's great to be back. Everybody worked so hard all season long, from back starting at the end of August, just to be playing this week. So it's great to be back. And the reason we're here is really because of our senior class. Our seniors have done a great job, from the start of the school year, to make sure that the work that needs to be done every day is done throughout the year, and they've carried us.
Of all the teams in this tournament, Thiel has the best head-to-head record against the other three competitors, with a 7-2 record against those the three foes here today. How confident does that make the Tomcats, knowing that they faced all of these teams and have, for the most part, come out on the winning end?
It may help a little bit until you get off the bus and everybody's in the same boat. So it doesn't matter what's happened up to this point. It doesn't matter what you're seeded. It makes no difference. Everybody's in the same spot. You have to play everybody to get through it.
Nick Rossmiller has been a do-everything type of player for you, leading the conference at hitting, also one of the best pitchers in the PAC. How talented is he, and what part of the game do you think is better for him, his hitting or his pitching?
I wouldn't want to have to pick one of the two. Hopefully they're equally as good throughout the tournament. He's been solid all year. We knew his pitching coming in with what he had done last year. But we challenged Nick, and over the fall and the winter, he's really worked hard on his offense, and has become one of the most productive hitters that we have.
Rossmiller pitched the first perfect game in Thiel history earlier this year against Hiram. And what was that performance like? And give us a feel for what it was like to be in the Tomcats dugout that day.
Well, we're probably the only coaching staff that was ever rooting for a no-hitter to get broken up. We wanted to work several different pitchers that day, and in the fourth inning, one of my assistant coaches asked how long I was going to let him go. And I said, well, he's got a perfect game going. I said, as long as he's got that going, I can't take him out. And we told him that. So as soon as you give up a hit, you're coming out. So I said, that's one way to keep yourself in a game. So it was a special day. Nobody expects that to happen, and I've never witnessed one before, so it was really a special day, and good for him with all the work he's done and the guys behind him.
Thiel has a great blend of speed and pop in the lineup, leading the conference in home runs and third in the conference in stolen bases. And why has your lineup been so potent this year? You tell us about some of those key players that you have.
Hitting's contagious. Kids love to swing the bat; they like to hit, and we encourage our hitters to be aggressive. And if one guy is going through a slow part, the other guys have stepped up, and I think any good team's going to do that. But I think it's just all attributable to how hard they work at it.
In the tournament opener, Thiel takes on Thomas More, a squad that's somewhat similar to Thiel in its ability to hit for power and production, but also pitch well. And give us your thoughts on the Thomas More Saints.
Coach Hatcher does a great job. We know Thomas More is always going to be, one of the best teams we play all year, and it's always that way. And so it's always fun playing against them. They're a classy group. They do everything the right way, and hopefully they bring out the best in us. We hope we play our best baseball against them.
With both teams possessing such strong hitting lineups, could you see today's game being more of a high-scoring affair, or how do you see this one playing out? Obviously, there's good pitchers for both teams too.
I don't know. Anytime I try to predict what's going to happen, I'm always wrong. So, I don't expect a high-scoring affair. You're going to see good pitching, good defense. I don't expect a lot of runs to be scored. I think if you get to this point in the season, the teams that pitch at the best, field at the best, it's usually the team that comes out on top.
Thiel head coach Joe Shalley, thanks for your time, and good luck to you and your team today.
Well, thank you.
You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
And welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. The PAC Baseball Championships, Day 1, getting underway here momentarily as the Thiel Tomcats and their starting pitcher, Nick Rossmiller, on the hill taking his warm-ups. And let's give you the starting lineups. We'll start with the batting order for the Thomas More Saints. Leading off and playing shortstop today is David Kennett. Batting second and playing left field, Jason Handley. Ryan Darner out in right field hits third. Batting cleanup is Cody Macon. He's out in center field. First baseman Craig Heisen bats fifth. At third base, Travis Miller in the sixth spot. David Etchide is the designated hitter. He'll bat seventh. Marcus Wolfel will play second base. He hits eighth, and Brad Popham bats ninth and is catching for starting pitcher Paul Ewell. Again, for the Saints, it's Kennett, Handley, Darner, Macon, Heisen, Miller, Etchide, Wolfel, and Popham. The defensive alignment for the Thiel Tomcats, as we mentioned, Nick Rossmiller pitching. Dan Kohler is the catcher. Josh Duty at first base. Eric King at second. Cody Trinich at short. Trent Mosley at third. The outfield from left to right is Eric Steininger, Doug Farley, and Nick Schiavone.
I don't think you could ask for a better day of weather for baseball. Nice breeze, sunny day, ready to kick off the tournament. Couldn't ask for much more than this.
A beautiful day, sun-splashed afternoon here in Washington, Pennsylvania. As we have a terrific matchup to get this one started. Thomas More, 27-12 overall. The Thiel Tomcats, 24-16. And David Kennett makes his way toward home plate to get this one started for the Thiel Tomcats and Thomas More Saints. Rossmiller, the right-hander, on the bump. And he gets the go sign from our home plate umpire, Ron Brown. The wind of the pitch. And we are underway. Strike one delivered to David Kennett. And the 0-1 pitch. This one will stay low to Kennett for ball one. Evens up the count 1-1. Kennett batting .323 in the regular season. No homers, 27 RBIs. And on the 1-1 pitch, he pushes it into left field for a base hit. So leadoff single for Kennett and the Saints.
And that's exactly what Thomas More wants. That's what any team wants, leading off the game with the base hit. So many more options now, and good scoring opportunity to lead off the ball game for the Saints. See what they do with the two-hitter here. Handley, if he's going to put a bunt down. Mentioned in the opening, you talked to Coach Hetzer about their inability to score runs last year. Dropped a pair of 2-1 games. We'll see if he tries to force the issue and move the runner into scoring position.
Rossmiller now from the stretch. Bunt shown, but pulling back as the offering is downstairs. Jason Handley accepts ball one low. And you had Coach Hetzer for Thomas More. He said, that's got to be one of the keys in bringing in runs. Opportunities likely will be few and far between against a pitcher like Nick Rossmiller. And Rossmiller entering this game, making his 14th appearance and 13th start. He's 7-3 with a 2.84 ERA. He's been a workhorse, 85 2/3 innings, striking out 52 while walking only 14. The 1-0 pitch is low and away for ball two. This time, Handley keeps the bat up on his shoulder, so not showing bunt as he checks signs with Coach Hetzer of the Saints. 2-0 the count. Just underway, top of the first inning from Ross Memorial Park. Saints with a man aboard, and the 2-0 from Rossmiller fouled away over top of the Saints dugout area located on the first base side.
And Rossmiller did have success against the Saints earlier this year. Went 8 1/3 innings in his only appearance against the Saints. Gave up 6 runs, but only one of those was earned. Really a rare outing where he did give up runs this year. Usually very sturdy ace for the Tomcats.
Peeks over his left shoulder, brings the 2-1 pitch. Bunt stabbed at. Foul tip around home plate, so that'll even up the count at 2-2. So coming up empty on the 2-1 bunt attempt, Jason Handley.
I'll let Mosley down at third base relax a little bit. take a few steps back, cover more ground in case there's a hot shot down his way.
Hanley, a .320 hitter this year. Couple of home runs and 17 RBIs. One man aboard, David Kennett. Nobody out, top of the first, scoreless game. Ross Miller peeks over his left shoulder, brings the pitch. Fastball called, strike 3, looking. And that one on the outside edge of the plate. Good pitcher's pitch, and he gets the strikeout. The backwards K went away.
Well, you can hear the crack of the catcher's mitt on that one. He reared back and let that go, painted that outside corner, sending Hanley back to the dugout. It was a big out in this game. There's only been 2 batters, but still, whenever you get that leadoff runner on and they cannot move him over, that's a win for the team out in the field.
Now stepping to the plate is Ryan Darner. Off-speed pitch downstairs, ball 1. Darner tied for 3rd in the conference in home runs with 5. Tied with teammate Cody Macon, who waits on deck. Darner also tied for 2nd in the league in runs scored with 37. He's the team leader in that category. 1-0 chopper to 3rd. Played by Mosley. He'll look to 2nd, throw to 1st instead. The throw is off the mark, and everyone is safe. Runners at 1st and 2nd. So Mosley thought about 2nd base, and that hesitation put forth a off-the-mark throw. Might have even been late as well. So base runners on, E5 charge to Mosley, and 2 aboard with 1 out now for the Saints.
Yeah, it looked like a 1-2 hop or double play ball. Mosley couldn't come up with a clean, and by the time he looked at 2nd base, Kennett was already standing on the base, so chose to go to 1st, and Darner, I think, beats that out even if the first baseman can come up with it.
So first error of the day, charged to 3rd baseman for the Tomcats, Trent Mosley, and up swinging Cody Macon fouls off the first pitch for strike 1.
Just judging from that one swing, I don't think he gets cheated up there too much. Big hack at that outside pitch.
Macon, the conference leader in RBIs with 45. Mentioned he has 5 home runs, a .333 hitter. 2 ducks on the pond, 1 out, top of the first. Macon pops this pitch up. Foul territory, 3rd baseman Mosley camps under, makes the catch. 2 away. So Ross Miller and Mosley come through there, combining for the out. And now 2 down, runners at 1st and 2nd. Well, good way to pick your teammate up, Nick Rossmiller. Not only does he help get that 2nd out to somewhat make up for the error, but he allows Mosley, in a sense, to make a play on it. Obviously not planning it out that way, but that'll help rebuild the confidence of his 3rd baseman. And now it's the number 5 hitter in the order, Craig Heisen, left-handed hitter. Against the righty, Rossmiller takes a look at the runner at 2nd. Chopper right side of the infield. Charging in on the 2nd hop. Eric King fields it into his midsection. Throw to 1st. And the inning is over. A base hit, an error, and 2 left stranded. After the top of the 1st, it's Thomas Moore nothing. Thiel coming to bat. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. 2 runners left aboard for the Thomas More Saints in the top of the 1st inning, and that's something that Jeff Hetzer talked about in our pregame interview about what the team did last year, and won't be happy with that, I'm sure. But nonetheless, it's the Thiel Tomcats that will have a crack at the plate here, and leading off and playing center field today is Doug Farley. Eric King is at 2nd base. He will hit 2nd. Eric Steininger out in left field bats 3rd. Jared Nana, the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter. Josh Duty hits 5th. He'll play 1st base today. Out in right is Nick Schiavone, and he'll hit in that 6th spot. Batting 7th, Trent Mosley at 3rd base. In the 8th spot is Cody Trinich at short. And batting 9th, Dan Kohler, the catcher, for starting pitcher Nick Rossmiller, whom you've already met by way of the top of the 1st inning. Again, for the Saints, the Tomcats in the batting order, it's Farley, King, Steininger, Nana, Duty, Schiavone, Mosley, Trinich, and Kohler. Starting pitcher today for the Thomas More Saints is Paul Ewell, and he is just about set, ready for Doug Farley to step into the batter's box. Ewell's totals this year: he is 5-1 in 9 starts with a 3.86 ERA in 49 innings. He's struck out 25. He's walked 17, which is the leader in that statistical category, although most of the Thomas More pitchers, they don't allow walks at all. So it's easy to lead that category when no one allows walks. But first pitch from the southpaw is low and in to right-handed hitting Doug Farley. Ball 1 in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless game. 1-0 pitch from Ewell. And again, low and in toward the feet of Doug Farley for ball 2.
You mentioned Ewell is 5-1. That one loss came at the hands of the Saints. It lasted 4 1/3 innings in a game earlier this year. Ended up dropping that game to the Saints 5-4 in a game where he gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of those earned.
2-0 pitch, this time up and away for ball 3. So running into some trouble here with the first batter of the contest. 3-0 to Farley, well upstairs for ball 4. So 4-pitch walk to Doug Farley, leadoff man aboard for the Tomcats.
Now, like the Saints, in the top of the first inning, bottom of the first leads to the leadoff man getting on base. We'll see how the Tomcats play it now. Saw bunt attempts, unsuccessful bunt attempts from Thomas More.
Now Farley hitting .329 before that at bat. He'll hold that average with a home run and 22 RBIs. Is now stepping in is Eric King. King, a .372 hitter, right-handed bat. And he takes strike 1, something off speed on the inner corner for a strike.
You'll see a lot of those high batting averages as we go down this Thiel lineup. A couple of them approaching 400, a couple of them over 400.
King second in the conference in base hits with 58. He takes outside for a ball, 1-1. Has not shown bunt thus far, has the number 2 hitter Eric King, but check signs with the Tomcats third base coach. 1 on, nobody out. Farley at first base. 1-1 the count in the bottom of the first inning. Ewell will step over and throw to first. Back in time standing up is Farley.
Just a casual step over, letting Farley know that he knows he's on base. Not really the intent of picking off, but just kind of a show move.
Farley 4 of 5 on stolen base attempts this year. So getting a look. Not a huge lead from Farley to this point. 1-1 pitch. And pulling that one foul out of play is King. That'll bring the count to 1-2. King a home run and 12 RBIs this year. Mentioned he's second in the league in hits. Also tied for second in the conference in runs scored with 37. The lefty, Ewell, takes a long look at the runner at first and now will step over and throw once again. Back in plenty of time is Farley. It's been a short lead for Farley so far, so as you said, just kind of recognizing the runner.
Yeah, not really a threat to steal. Still 1 or 2 steps inside of that dirt cutout at first base.
1-2 to the plate. King will pull this one. Line drive snared by Miller. Throw to first. In time, double play. Well, that'll clean up the leadoff runner. Is third baseman Travis Miller snared the line drive off the bat of King. Quick throw across the diamond gets the runner, and the double play goes 5-3.
Quick out of the glove by Travis Miller there at third. I think he was already knew what he was doing before he got that ball out of his glove, heading towards first base. Strong throw over to first base and was able to double off Farley.
So even with the short lead, Farley still doubled up, but that one was a hot shot to the hot quarter. Now it's Eric Steininger. Takes an off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Steininger, right-handed hitter against the lefty Ewell.
That was a line drive, but it was kind of a soft hit line drive. Almost led Miller into the ball, or led Miller towards first base as the ball was hit.
0-1 pitch. Steininger takes another breaking ball, but this time off the corner. Evens up the count 1-1. Steininger hitting .416. Team leader for the Tomcats in runs, hits, and doubles. 43 runs, 67 hits, and 14 doubles. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball hit well to left. This will push Jason Haley back a few steps, but he's able to set himself, make the catch, and that ends the inning. So leadoff walk, that cleaned up on the double play, and nobody left aboard. Score after 1 inning, it is Thomas More 0, Thiel 0.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for people with asthma. There are two main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not, and most medicines only treat one. At asthma.com, you'll find information about working with your doctor and treating both main causes of asthma symptoms, and how this can help prevent symptoms before they even start. This message brought to you by AAFA with funding and editorial support by GlaxoSmithKline. For more information, go to asthma.com.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
0-0 the score after one inning. The Thiel Tomcats and Thomas More Saints. In the opener of the PAC Baseball Championships, leading off the top of the second is Travis Miller. He helped turn that double play, important double play in the bottom of the first. Takes low ball one from Rossmiller. Nick Rossmiller quickly with the 1-0, the wind of the pitch. This one a dribbler foul third base side. Runs the count to 1-1.
I've seen him pitch a couple times this year, and he's always ready to go. He'll get that ball back from the catcher. He's back on the rubber, ready to deliver the next pitch.
Travis Miller hitting at a .357 clip this year. Hits a ground ball towards short. Sliding to his left. Cody Trinich handles, throw a little low, but handled by Josh Duty at first. And it's one away in the second. Well, you love, if you're one of the defensive players on this field for the Tomcats, you love playing behind a pitcher who works quickly like that, always keeps you in the game. And Rossmiller does that, especially when he gets you nice ground balls like that one, the short, and Cody Trinich.
Especially on this turf field, ground balls will take true hops.
Jams David Etchide with a soft pop towards short, and backpedaling. Trinich makes the catch, 2 away. Brings up Marcus Wolfel, so 2 quick outs here in this top of the second. 0-0 score. Marcus Wolfel, .333 hitter. No homers, 10 RBIs. .1-0 the count as the first pitch from Rossmiller misses. .1-0 taken for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rossmiller just out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Talking about the Thomas More staff, you won't see Rossmiller walk a whole lot of batters either. Pretty good control from the tall righty.
Foul ball out of play, evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. 0-0 score in this top of the second. And the 2-2 dribbler played by Rossmiller off the mound. Throw to first, and 1-2-3 go the Saints in the top of the second. Score after 1.5, it's Thomas More 0, Thiel 0.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact Time Ad Productions. Time Ad Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
We head to the bottom of the second inning. 0-0 the score as the Thomas More Saints and Thiel Tomcats doing battle in the opener of the PAC Baseball Championships. Glad to have you along today. Our PAC Baseball Championship broadcast brought to you by Sport Clips. And in the bottom of the second, it's Jared Nana who will lead off. Nana, who has plenty of power for the Thiel Tomcats against Ewell, pops up the first pitch out of play for strike one.
This is absolutely how you want to face him. Nobody on.
A .398 hitter, 6 home runs, 43 RBIs, tied for first in the conference in home runs. The lefty Paul Ewell with the 0-1. This time something off speed on the outside part of the plate. Nana with a big cut, fouls it straight back behind 0-2.
Notice this with the 3 batters for Thiel in the first inning, and Nana right here. They're kind of running out of the box a little bit at that soft stuff. Need to stay back on it and try and drive that pitch to right field from the lefty. He's throwing the soft stuff away from these right-handed hitters.
0-2 pitch. Again, tries to stay away. Drops low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The kick and the pitch from Ewell. This time missing a bit low, perhaps a bit inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tried to sneak that fastball in under the hands. Nana wasn't biting in the ball. Looked like it ran a little bit too far in.
2-2. This one popped up by Nana on the infield. Coming in a few steps, Marcus Wolfel will make the catch. And 1 away. And now stepping to the plate is first baseman Trent Smith. For those of you listening in, just to correct an item in the starting lineup for the Thiel Tomcats is Trent Smith at first base. And Smith will bat here in the second inning with 1 away in a scoreless game. Smith, the left-handed hitting first baseman, hitting .313 this year. No homers, 25 RBIs. And first offering from Ewell. Low and away, ball 1. Smith out of Franklin, PA. Freshman for the Tomcats. And digs in. Next pitch. Good breaking ball. Drops in the zone. That'll even up the count 1-1. Now, talking with Coach Joe Shalley of the Thiel Tomcats, he felt that this one, despite all the offensive power for both teams, as here's a ground ball to second, handled by Wolfel, throw to first, 2 away. He felt that this would be more of a pitcher's game, and so far in the early going, it has been. Still very early yet in the bottom of the second inning, but nonetheless, you have that feel from both starting pitchers today.
No one's really made solid contact. We have 1 base hit so far. Nothing's really been smoked at a fielder yet.
Nick Schiavone with the bases clear, 2 outs. Still looking for the first hit of the day are the Tomcats. Breaking ball, strike 1 to Schiavone. Right-handed hitter. Schiavone hitting .329 this year. No homers, 23 RBIs. Schiavone with a ground ball left side of the infield. Cutting it off to his left. Third baseman Miller throw to first. Nicely done by the third baseman for the Saints. So a couple of top shelf plays by him today. And that will end the inning. 1-2-3. Go the Thiel Tomcats in the bottom of the second. Score after 2. Thomas More nothing, Thiel nothing.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Thiel Tomcats and Thomas More Saints scoreless after 2 innings. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips. Glad to have you along today. Brad Popham will lead off the top of the 3rd. As Popham, the catcher for the Thomas More Saints, against Nick Rossmiller. First pitch swinging, ground ball to 3rd. Played by Trent Mosley to his left, throw to first in time, 1 away. Somewhat similar to the final out of the bottom of the 2nd inning, as this time the Thiel third baseman, Mosley, had to go to his left, although not quite as far as Miller did on the previous play, but still handled nicely by the third baseman of the Tomcats. 1 down in the top of the 3rd. Here is David Kennett. He's 1 for 1. The only hit of the day in this game to this point. Kennett takes a strike.
Seen a little bit of wind pick up, but not in the way the hitters would like. It's blowing more or less in from the outfield.
Breaking ball from Rossmiller. This one poked into center field. Base hit. So now David Kennett 2 for 2. 1 out single in the top of the 3rd. And Kennett, a year ago, was the conference leader in base hits. And you compare his totals to last season, they're down. But he still had a pretty good year as Kennett, trying to set the table for the middle of the order of the Thomas More Saints. Right now, number 2 hitter Jason Handley. He struck out looking in the 1st inning, came up with the intent to bunt Kennett over, could not get that done, and then eventually was struck out by Rossmiller. And this time, line drive hit to 2nd, played by King, throw to 1st, double play. Well, we've seen a couple of line drive double plays for each team. This time it's turned by the Thiel Tomcats, and that'll end the inning. So Handley with a hot shot to 2nd, but King and the Tomcats up to the task. So a base hit, nobody left on, and the score after 2.5, it's Thiel 0, Thomas More 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Bottom of the 3rd, Trent Mosley leads off for the Thiel Tomcats. He takes strike 1 from Paul Ewell, the left-hander. Ewell with the wide of the 0-1. Ground ball hit to 3rd, played by Travis Miller. He's been busy today. Throw across the diamond in time for out number 1. Now, Paul Ewell, noticed very early on, somewhat of a soft-throwing left-hander, but very effective he's been thus far.
Able to live on the outer half of the plate. Thiel hitting all nine hitters are hitting right-handed, so he's able to sit out there and really getting a lot of these balls to go off the end of the bat. He's getting these hitters to roll over, and that's why you're seeing so much action at third base.
Cody Trinich tries to bunt his way on, rolls it foul up the first base line. Dan Kohler waits on deck for the Thiel Tomcats. 0-0 our score. Thomas More, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. Thiel, no runs on no hits, 1 error. As Ewell brings the 0-1 pitch, and a breaking ball foul tip into the glove of catcher Brad Popham, and it's strike 2. No strikeouts to this point for Ewell, but he has Trinich set up. 0-2 pitch. Wave and a miss for strike 3. And very quickly back to the dugout goes Trinich. 2 down now in the bottom of the third.
I saw that pitch coming after he flailed at that 0-1 breaking ball. You got the suspicion that he was going to see that pitch again, and pretty much the same pitch, a little bit lower and a little more off the plate to the outside. Trinich flailed at that one too.
Dan Kohler stands in, right-handed bat, and goes after the first pitch, hits it well to left, but there to make the catch is Jason Handley on the line drive. And that ends the inning. So after a leadoff walk in the first inning, Paul Ewell has been rolling. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the third. Both pitchers rolling along. Score after 3 innings. Thomas More nothing, Thiel nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
0-0 between Thomas More and Thiel in the top of the 4th inning. Ryan Darner leads off for the Saints. He takes a fastball from Nick Rossmiller, strike 1, and through 3 innings, both pitchers working quickly. Looks like a pitcher's duel on our hands to this point. Rossmiller, fastball off the plate this time to the right-handed hitting Darner. 1-1 the count. One to the 1-1 from Rossmiller. This one catches the strike zone at the knees. 1-2. Rossmiller, ball back in his glove, ready to go. Checks the signs quickly with Dan Kohler. Brings the next pitch. Foul ball out of play by Darner. Darner reached on an error in the first inning. One of only 2 players to reach for the Saints today. David Kennett is 2 for 2. And another foul ball out of play. First base side, taking a look at it. Is Trent Smith, but watches it sail out of play. Saints had 2 men on, runners at first and second with 1 out in the first inning. That's been the best opportunity for either team to score, but here's a 2-hopper to short, and played by Cody Trinich's throw brings Trent Smith off the bag. He reached up, brought the ball down, and stepped on the bag, but not in time as Darner was on top of first base before Smith could come back down on top of the base. And so it's another error that puts Darner on, this time an E6 on Cody Trinich. So leadoff man aboard for Cody Macon. And Rossmiller will deal from the stretch. Showing bunt, pitch pops into and out of the glove of Kohler. That'll move Darner to second, pass ball. Was outside, but still into and out of the glove of Kohler for the pass ball. So Darner in scoring position with nobody out. Macon, who was showing bunt on the first pitch, we'll see if he'll have that same intent on the second pitch. Now that you have the runner in scoring position,
RBI
with a guy of his bat, you would figure, let him swing away.
Yeah, RBI machine up there at the plate. And
shows bunt again. What do we know? Lays it down. Barehand play by Rossmiller. Throws it away, though, at third base into foul territory. And in to score comes Darner. And it's 1-0 Thomas More. Moving into second base is Macon. So the bunt and error on Rossmiller as he threw it away at third. Would have had the runner because that throw would have beaten him out in plenty of time. Mosley tried to dive and at least get a glove on it. Could not. So the E1 makes it 1-0 Thomas More. So sacrifice, give Macon the sacrifice, and then the error, fielder's choice rather.
Yeah, really good play by Rossmiller, getting off that mound, barehanding the ball. He had Darner out at third. Just makes a good throw. Threw that one up the line a little bit. Now a bunt attempt by Craig Heisen. Fouled off with making it second. Thomas Moore thinking, hey, worked once with a runner on second. Why not try it again?
Saints up 1-0. The error by Rossmiller allows Darner to trot home. And again, he would have been out at third had that throw been accurate. But instead, it's 1-0 Saints. Make it on at second base. And Craig Heisen puts down a bunt third base side. Rossmiller will try it again. And this time the throw is juggled. Held on too late, though. And sliding underneath the tag is Cody Macon. And now heading to second as no one covers the second base bag. Craig Heisen. So he catches the Tomcats napping. And not only did you not get the out at third, but now you've got runners at second and third. So fielder's choice again. And then a mental error puts Heisen at second base. Still nobody out of the inning, 1-0. Thomas Moore with a chance to add on with Travis Miller up with 2 in scoring position. And this time an E5 charged on that play at third base. That on Trent Mosley. This time the throw, again, would have been in time, but it was juggled by Mosley. He did eventually pull it down and attempt a tag, but by then it was too late. And now hit batsman Travis Miller, hit by a pitch, loads him up.
Just compounding the problem right now. First base was open, but now you have bases loaded, nobody out. Thomas Moore looking to blow this game open here in the fourth inning. Doing it by way of errors and a hit batter so far.
So sloppy play defensively by the Tomcats in this fourth inning. As Thomas Moore up 1-0, bases loaded, nobody out for David Etchide. He's 0 for 1 with a pop-up to short in his first at-bat. Rossmiller wide of the pitch, low and away, ball 1. Well, now that you're in the pickle that you're in, if you're Rossmiller, find a way to wiggle out. 1-0, ground ball foul, third base way.
Yeah, right here you're looking for a pop-up or something on the ground. What you'd really like here is a strikeout.
3 errors by the Tomcats in this inning, 2 of which in the third base area. 1 has allowed the Saints to score 1 to this point. There's a leadoff error that put Darner on to start with. Darner eventually scored on the throwing error by Rossmiller at third base. And then another error on third baseman Mosley put Macon on at third. Heisen advanced to second with the Tomcats napping. Travis Miller hit by a pitch, and the 1-1 offering to Etchide is outside ball 2. Kicking the 2-1. Etchide goes around. Tied him up, did Rossmiller. Good pitch. Foul tip into the glove of his catcher, Kohler. Evens up the count 2-2. Rossmiller really could go for a strikeout here.
Yeah, he was looking for that outside corner on that 1-1 pitch. Didn't get the call and then ran that two-seamer back inside. Getting Etchide to fan out in front.
And Etchide, fly ball center field on the 2-2 pitch, base hit, 1 in to score, runner at third being held, and that is Heisen. So bases stay loaded, RBI single for Etchide, and still nobody out. 2-0, Thomas Moore.
And that was the right call down there at third. Heisen may or may not have been safe at home, but why risk it with nobody out? Just have everybody move up a spot, and you still have the same situation. Bases loaded, nobody out again for the Saints, now holding a 2-0 lead.
And this time with the opportunity, with the bases filled with Saints, it's Marcus Wolfel. Wolfel 0 for 1 with a ground ball back to Rossmiller in the second inning. 2-0 already with Thomas Moore in front. Off-speed pitch, drops in the zone for strike 1. Right-hander Rossmiller, who's been terrific this season, in some trouble here in the fourth. 0-1 pitch, high heater, swing and a miss for a strike. Now in front on Wolfel, 0-2. Wolfel has struck out 11 times this year And on the 0-2 pitch with the bases loaded, brought in the dirt on the fastball. Trying to get Woelfel to chase, trusting its catcher Kohler as well, does Ross Miller, with the bases loaded. Kicking the 1-2, bounding ball over the mound and up the middle, base knock, one in to score. Runner being waved around, that's Travis Miller. He'll trot home as well, 4-0 Thomas More. 2-run single for Marcus Woelfel.
Really getting RBI production down the lineup, 7 and 8 hitters. Edshot and now Woelfel responsible for knocking in 3 of those 4 runs.
So Heisen and Miller score on the 2-run single by Woelfel. 4-0 Saints. 2 aboard with nobody out. It's number 9 hitter Brad Popham. Popham, the right-handed hitter against Ross Miller. From the stretch, Popham puts down a bunt. Right side of the infield. Glove by Ross Miller. An underhand flip to Trent Smith, holding the bag at first. Sacrifice goes 1-3. 1 out now in the 4th inning. Runners at second and third. Now finally the Tomcats get the first out of the inning, but comes on the sacrifice, so exactly what the Saints wanted there.
It comes on the 3rd bunt of the inning, too.
David Kennett, 2 for 2. 2 in scoring position, takes a fastball on the inner part of the plate for strike 1. Ross Miller wide in the 0-1, fastball inside, bailing out of the batter's box, Kennett. Tiptoeing along to avoid that pitch. 1-1 the count. Game 1 of our PAC Baseball Championships, 4-0 Saints. 1-1 is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at second and third, 1 away in the top of the 4th.
With second and third, infield is back, so looking to concede a run here just to get the out.
Fastball, inside edge, strike 2. Thomas More doing some work, taking advantage of the Tomcat errors in this frame. 2-2 pitch, foul ball around home plate. Kind of piece of the body there of Kennett as he'll walk that off. Also walking out to the bullpen, several Tomcats, so it looks like someone's going to get loosened up here in this 4th inning. Ross Miller. Not necessarily he's struggling, but the Tomcats infield struggling. And Ross Miller has been a part of that in essence, though, with 1 throwing error himself. Foul ball down the right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if this gets out of hand, they'll want to conserve their right arm, maybe pitch him again in a tournament if they get an opportunity down the road.
2-2, reaching down and pulling that one into left field. Nice piece of hitting by Kennett. 1 in to score, another being waved around. 6-0 Thomas More. 2-run single by Kennett. And that time, a breaking ball that was low, and Kennett just reached down and yanked that one to left.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better pitch from Ross Miller. Kennett basically took that one off the ground, and just like he had his other 2 hits, just a little looping line drive into the outfield in front of the outfielders, and he's aboard with his 3rd hit. And Thomas More now has really blown this game open.
9th hitter of the inning, due up next, Jason Handley. But first, we're going to have a visit to the mound with Ross Miller. And Kennett, again, taking that well-thrown pitch by Ross Miller and golfing it into left. And loosening up in the bullpen for the Tomcats is Pat Duncan, freshman right-hander. And as you said, with a pitcher like Ross Miller, now you think about with the 6-0 advantage for Thomas More, it's a double elimination tournament, so you live to fight another day. You may consider pulling Ross Miller just for the fact that you want him on the mound at a later time. So the sooner you get him out of this game, possibly you can use his arm again later on in this tournament. But nonetheless, right now it's 6-0 Thomas More and counting. Still just 1 out, and Jason Handley at the plate with Kennett on at first. Ross Miller from the stretch, and the fastball. This one sky down the right field line. Toward the line goes Schiavone, and he will make the catch. 2 down in the inning as the Saints bat around in this 4th.
And Parker Myers, another right-hander, also throwing down there in the Tomcats bullpen. But you're right, Randy, with the pitch count, the high pitch count at Ross Miller. Obviously, you'd like to get this game if you're Thiel. get this opening game of the PAC tournament. But if you can't, and Ross Miller's pitch count gets too high where you think you'd be better served getting him out of there and maybe saving him for a spot down the road, then by all means you do that and maybe have him go in a day or two.
Ryan Darner started this inning reaching on an E6. He bats again. And on the 1-0 pitch, takes a strike. Runner takes off for second. Kennett with the stolen base. Throw high into second baseman Eric King. Put a tag down late, claiming that Kennett had slid off the bag, but base umpire Dave Kernan not buying any of that petition. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 6-0 Thomas More. 1-1 from Ross Miller. Downstairs, ball 2. Three errors in this 4th inning, 6 runs for the Saints. Taking full advantage of that. 2-1, ground ball hit to short. Played by Trinich. Crow hop to his left, throw to first, and that ends the top of the 4th inning. Mercifully so for the Tomcats. The Saints take advantage of 3 Tomcat errors, and the score after 3.5, it's Thomas More 6, Thiel nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Back at Ross Memorial Park, the host site for the PAC Baseball Championships in 2013. It is 6-0 Thomas More as we move to the bottom of the 4th. The Thiel Tomcats hoping to get something going. They're without a base hit so far, and now with a hefty deficit here in the middle innings is Paul Ewell, who's been rolling along. Now with that padding of 6 runs brings strike 1 to Doug Farley. Farley reached by way of a walk in the 1st inning, but was eliminated off the bases on a line-out double play a batter later. 0-1 from the southpaw. Stays upstairs to Farley. Evens up the count 1-1.
If you're Ewell, just keep doing what you've been doing. Keep the Tomcats off balance and make sure you keep feeding that glove full of strikes. You don't want to work yourself into a jam by walking batters.
1-1, liner into left, base hit. First hit of the day for the Thiel Tomcats. And while you're Thiel, and obviously you'd rather be on the opposite end of the 6-0 score, but facing the deficit as they are, they still have plenty of punch in their bats. They won't hang their heads too long in this game because still plenty of innings to work with.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time, plenty of firepower in this lineup, too. They could put up a 6 spot here in the bottom of the 4th.
Ewell with the lean in, checking signs with Popham. Long stare over at first. Deals with the plate. King takes high, ball 1. In contrast, we were talking with Coach Jeff Hetzer, the Thomas More Saints, and mentioned last year where his team left 25-some men on base during the tournament and falling 2-1 and 2-1 in their 2 games in the tournament. Pitches downstairs for a ball 2-0 now to Eric King. And having those free outs, gift base runners, courtesy of the Tomcats defense, the Saints more than took advantage of those base runners in the top of the 4th inning today.
Yeah, huge weight off their chest, too. Just being able to drive in some runners after stranding and getting the leadoff runner on to start the game and not being able to do anything with them, really. And being able to finally drive in some runs, getting some production up and down the lineup. Definitely like to get that early lead in the first game of the tournament if you're the Saints.
2-0 was high for a ball, and the 3-0 also misses, ball 4, so 4-pitch walk to Eric King. Ewell allowing a leadoff single, then follows that up with a free pass. 2 on board, nobody out for the Tomcats for Eric Steininger. Steininger, second in the conference in base hits, or excuse me, in batting average rather this year, hitting .416.
This is where it gets dangerous if you're Thomas More, too, getting 1 and 2 hitters on, now having to go through the heart of the order with runners on base.
Led the conference in hits, did Steininger. Takes a good breaking ball for a strike. Steininger with 67 hits. Also the conference leader in runs scored with 43. As 2 on board, see if the Tomcats can start a rally here, trailing 6-0, bottom of the 4th. Paul Ewell takes a look at the runner at second. 0-1 to the plate, well up and away for ball 1. Ewell taking a deep breath as Popham will range back behind the dish. Now with runners on, Ewell a little erratic suddenly. 2 on, nobody out, and the 1-1 pitch fouled straight back to the screen. Runs the count to 1-2. Beautiful day for baseball in Washington, Pennsylvania. Day 1 of the PAC Baseball Championships. We'll have all the action from every game as we had the first pitch of this first game, and we'll have it all down to the final out on Saturday till we have determined a champion. Ground ball on 1 hop to third. Played by Miller, steps on the bag, throw across the diamond. Double play, goes 5-3. King safe at second, but the double play eliminates Farley off the bases. 2 down now for Jared Nana.
That was a case of Steininger hitting that ball almost too hard. If he hits that a little bit harder, Thomas More may have a chance for 3 actually on that. Just a little to the backhand side of third base. Easy step on third and throw over to first. Couldn't draw it up any better. Tailor-made double play ball.
Miller has had a nice day at third base today for the Thomas More Saints. Keeps that going. He's playing some sound defense as Jared Nana stands in. Up and away on the first pitch, ball 1.
Always easier to pitch with more confidence when your defense is playing well behind you. Not just the routine, or not just the spectacular plays, but the routine ones too. And being able to get 2 off a ground ball like that, a well hit ground ball.
Nana 0 for 1, popped up to Marcus Wolfel in his first at bat, and he pops this one up again, this time into shallow right field as Darner comes in, calls for it with the sunglasses down, makes the grab. That ends the inning. A base hit, a walk, a double play, 1 left stranded. After 4 innings, it's Thomas More 6, Thiel nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
As we approach the opening pitch of the PAC
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 6-0 Thomas More over the Thiel Tomcats as Cody Macon will lead off the top of the 5th. And we will be joined here for a half inning by W&J head coach Jeff Mountain as we hope to talk with our Game 2 coaches here for a short time. First pitch is a ball from Ross Miller, and now the 1-0. Line drive into right center field, and Macon will be running a while as this one will roll all the way to the fence. Scooped up by Schiavone out in right center, and it's a stand-up double for Cody Macon to start the top of the 5th inning. Already 6-0 Saints and looking for more. Coach Mountain, thanks for joining us here for a half inning. For second straight year, the presidents or the host team for this tournament here at Ross Memorial Park. For you, and obviously you'll be taking on St. Vincent in Game 2. How nice is it to be able to play these tournament games on your home field?
Oh, it's a great advantage just to not have to travel. our guys are involved in finals, so that is another challenge and everything like that. But I think for them to be able to balance everything and sleep in their own beds and everything like that, it's definitely a huge advantage.
Ball one delivered to Craig Heisen, left-handed hitter. Heisen on the 1-0 from Rossmiller. Chopper first base side. Played by Trent Smith to his right. He'll flip to Rossmiller covering the bag. Flip a little high, but Rossmiller comes down on top of the base before Heisen gets there. And that is out number one. The ground out moves Macon to third. One away in the inning. 6-0 Thomas More. We're joined by Jeff Mountain, the head coach of the W&J Presidents, and we'll talk with you a little bit about your team. Again, you'll be facing St. Vincent coming up at 6 p.m. approximately. And amongst the best running and hitting teams in the conference, the Presidents are. How much do you like to put pressure on opponents with your team speed? We'll get to that here in a moment. There's a fly ball into left for Travis Miller. Base knock makes it 7-0. Thomas More in a hustling double, sliding in quickly into second base. So an RBI double for Miller. 7-0 Saints. But Coach Mountain, getting back to your team, team speed, obviously a great asset for your bunch.
Well, we're not the biggest team in the world, I'll tell you this, Thomas More got a lot of guys that look pretty good in a uniform. I don't know that we're exactly like that. So, yeah, we have to pressure the defense and, steal and hit and run. All that's going to be put to the test today. I assume St. Vincent's starting pitcher is probably going to be Gearhart, and he's very quick to the plate, a great athlete, and he has a great pickoff move. So that might put our style of play in the back burner a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see how the game develops.
David Etchide at the plate right now for the Saints, fouling off the first two pitches behind 0-2. Etchide with an RBI single his last time up, as Miller at second base. 7-0 Thomas More in the top of the fifth over Thiel, and there is a liner into left center, and this will make it 8-0 as rounding third is Miller, and heading towards second, sliding in safely is Etchide. RBI double, 2 RBI day for the DH for the Saints, and it's now 8-0 Thomas More. And, well, obviously you've been watching this game. Thomas More looks ready to play today.
They're hot. They got some breaks, actually, obviously, right there in the fourth inning. You can't give a good team like that extra outs, and the postseason, those types of things are going to be exposed. I think we got the pitcher calling for an arm injury right here.
And Coach Joe Shalley of the Thiel Tomcats coming out as Rossmiller holding the ball. I think might, let's see here, Shalley.
Yeah, he's pointing at his shoulder, I think.
It's no trainer or umpire visit. This is going to be a straight pitching change, so it appears. So that'll be it for Rossmiller. We'll have a new arm for the Tomcats coming out of the bullpen, and we'll introduce him here in just a moment, as it's 8-0 Thomas More in this top of the fifth. But this pitching change actually allows us a great opportunity to chat with you a little bit more. And talking about your group, it's seemingly always getting on base. DJ Mahalski and Josh Stanish have been outstanding at the plate this year for you. How much have they been leaders for your team this year?
Well, Mahalski is a prototypical number 2 hitter. The problem is he's got a bad wrist. I'm not sure he's going to be available today or the rest of the season. So that'll test our depth a little bit. But we've been playing our best baseball here the last 2 weeks. We had some stumbles at the beginning of the year and throughout the middle of the year, but we've definitely played our best the last 2 weeks, so we hope to be able to continue that. We've played a lot of baseball the last 2 weeks, too, and I think that gave our guys, while that's tough on your pitching, it's great for your offensive guys to get in a rhythm and get a lot of at-bats. And, unfortunately, you can't look into a crystal ball and see how things are going to go, but the way we were playing, I wish we could have kept going. I wish we would have had the tournament start the next day or 2 days, so we could have kind of kept rolling a little bit and things like that, but hopefully we'll be able to pick up where we left off.
Well, you mentioned the wrist injury to Mahalski, and one of the benefits to your squad as the W&J Presidents, as we're talking with head coach Jeff Mountain here in the top of the fifth inning. Your team has a lot of depth, and I assume, especially with Mahalski likely to be out, as you said, perhaps for the remainder of the season, you're going to utilize that depth there.
Yeah, that was one of the challenges early on in the year. We felt we had a lot of guys that kind of warranted opportunities to play, and we had to give those guys some opportunities early on, and it took us a while to kind of find out where we were at, what our best combinations were, who our guys were, where they fit the best, and I think those types of things have kind of shaken themselves out a little bit, but hopefully playing a lot of different guys, because, again, a lot of them deserve to play, will pay dividends for us.
New pitcher, by the way, entering the contest for the Thiel Tomcats is Parker Myers. In 13 appearances and 8 starts, he's 2-2 with a 6.09 ERA, has 3 saves this year, the team leader for the Tomcats in saves. This obviously not a save situation right now in the 5th with the Tomcats trailing Thomas More 8-0. First pitch fastball inside to Marcus Wolfel for ball 1. So again, Parker Myers now working on the mound. 57 2/3 innings this year. Has struck out 46 and walked 20. The right-hander from the stretch. Fastball inside.
Boy, this guy shut us down up at their place.
Hey, you would have, obviously you've seen all of these teams with the new pitcher on the hill here. Tell us about Parker Myers for your
throw a lot of fastballs. Threw a lot of fastballs up at their place, and I don't know, we just weren't able to square him up or get to him real well. But that's what he's going to like to do, I think, is just come out and try to throw the old number 1.
Runner at second base, David Etchide. 8-0 Thomas More, and a ground ball on the 2-1 pitch rolled too short. Played by Trenich. He'll throw to first. 2 away now in the 5th. Runner at second stays put there, and again, that's Etchide. As number 9 hitter Brad Popham will step in. As we're talking with Coach Jeff Mountain of the W&J Presidents, and we'll have you here for just one more out in this inning. But these teams as a whole, really interesting race in the final weekend, as it could have been any one of 3 teams that could have hosted this tournament. Obviously, as you mentioned, you're more than happy that it is here at Ross Memorial Park. But with these 4 teams, all very much have a realistic chance at winning this title over the weekend. Your thoughts on just the talent level of these 4 teams?
Without a doubt. I mean, we were 4 and 5 combined against these 3 other teams. So, by no means, although we were fortunate enough to get the number 1 seed, like you said, it's anybody's game. The way it shook down even the last weekend, we were fortunate to win all 3 games of our series, but Thomas More and Thiel did that as well. So, one slip up from us, and it would have been at another location. The conference tournament would have.
Fly ball into foul territory down the right field line, and that one pulled in by Nick Schiavone, and that ends the inning. So Popham, the final out. 1 runner left on, but the Thomas More Saints add on to their lead. 2 runs on 3 hits, all being doubles. And Coach Jeff Mountain, thanks for your time, and good luck to your squad in the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, the score after 4.5, it is Thomas More 8, Thiel 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
8-0 Thomas More over the Thiel Tomcats. Bottom of the 5th, Tomcats Trent Smith at the plate. Lefty versus lefty as Paul Ewell delivers a strike on the outside corner. We welcome back in Justin Pyles, as it was a pleasure to talk with Coach Jeff Mountain of the W&J Presidents. We hope to have Mick Janosko, the head coach of the St. Vincent Bearcats, on with us in the near future in this contest. The first game of the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips, and big cut swing and a miss by Smith for strike 2 on the off-speed pitch. And so Nick Rossmiller, the line on him today, 4 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits, 8 runs, 2 earned, no walks, 1 strikeout, and 1 hit batsman. 0-2 from Ewell. And waiting on the breaking ball, Smith gets a piece of it to foul it off. Strike 2. Count stays at 0-2.
By contrast, Paul Ewell, just that one hit given up. Really kept these Thiel batters off balance for much of the day.
Kick in the 0-2. Goes after a pitch up in the zone. Fly ball blooped into shallow right center field. Base hit, leadoff single for Trent Smith. Well, each time the Tomcats have had runners on today, a double play has been turned by third baseman Travis Miller. We'll see if Paul Ewell can get some more help from Miller today. As here is Nick Schiavone.
Ironically, Schiavone and Mosley on deck both grounded out to third base their first at bat. See if there's more action down at the hot corner.
Leadoff man on in Trent Smith. Inches out his lead from first. Hefty deficit right now for the Tomcats. 8-0. Ground ball rolled slowly past the mound. Fielded by second baseman Woelfel. And the flip to shortstop Kennett. They get the lead runner. The throw to first not in time. That ball just rolled too slowly to turn 2. But they do get the lead runner, do the Saints. Outgoing 4-6. Schiavone on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that ball hit not all that hard and then had a little kick off the pitcher's mound to slow it down further. So just one out on that play. But they did get the lead one, so still runner at first for the Tomcats.
8-0. Thomas Moore with 1 on and 1 out. Off-speed pitch. Low and into Trent Mosley. Ball 1. Mosley, as Justin mentioned, in his first at bat, grounded out. To Travis Miller, his first time up. With Schiavone at first. And Heisen holding him on. Ball popped up, foul territory. Will sail out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mosley. Ewell checking signs with Popham. Now comes set, stares down the runner at first. And deals the 1-1 to the plate. This ball ripped into left field. This will get down for a base hit. Cut off in the gap by Jason Handley. Hustling over to third as the cutoff man overthrown, but backing up the play was Miller. Schiavone to third, Mosley to second with the double. 2 in scoring position for Cody Trinich as Thiel hoping to get on the board in this bottom of the 5th.
Handley did a great job of cutting off that ball, but if he can hit Kennett there with the cutoff, they got Mosley dead at second base. He took his time coming around first base. They had him dead to rights, lumbering into second.
Cody Trinich 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but a chance to bring in some runs here for Thiel. Still not too late to mount a comeback. Plenty of innings to work with here. Bottom of the 5th, 8-0 Saints. And a swing and a foul ball back of home plate. Foul tapper, strike 1. Home plate umpire today is Ron Brown. First base umpire is Chris Stump. At second, Dave Kernan. Jeremy Stangelo manning the third base side. Full crew here today for the PAC Baseball Championships. Game number 1. 0-1 pitch. Outside, low, well off the plate. Trinich, the right-handed hitter, not tempted at all by that offering. 1-1.
That might be the best straight ball he sees. He had difficulties with the breaking ball in the first at bat. Ewell started him out with a breaking pitch before going well off the plate with that fastball.
Runners at second and third with 1 out for the Thiel Tomcats here in the bottom of the 5th. And the pitch, low from Ewell, 2-1. Ewell, as we've mentioned, a soft-throwing lefty, but he has been very much on point with his pitches, getting plenty of ground ball outs. When runners have been on, he's received some double play balls, and his defense up to the task in handling those. Helping turn 2. 2-1, dribbler foul behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cody Trinich. Trinich, sophomore, out of Franklin, Pennsylvania, Franklin High School. Schiavone at third and Mosley at second. 8-0 Saints leading. 2-2 pitch, low and in, full count. Thiel Tomcats is the 2 seed, wearing their home white uniforms with the blue pinstripes. Thomas More with the road black uniforms, gray pants, royal blue numerals and lettering, and white trim. The gray caps as well. Like the pinstripes from the Tomcats today.
Yeah, very New York Yankees. Kind of a throwback look with the stirrups that a lot of them are wearing. They're wearing the high socks.
Payoff pitch from Ewell. Foul ball over top of the Thomas More dugout, first base side. Count will stay the same. The homestanding Tomcats is by way of their higher seating on their third base side, getting that home dugout. Right now trying to crack the scoreboard against Paul Ewell, who's been terrific so far. Bottom of the 5th, payoff pitch again, and this one pulled into left field, base hit. In to score Schiavone. Holding at third is Mosley. Runners at the corners. Thiel cuts it to an 8-1 score.
And that was the definition of a hanging breaking ball there. Trinich smashed that into left field to finally drive a run across for Thiel.
So RBI single for Cody Trinich. Trinich, who had 27 RBIs in the regular season, makes it 8-1. Deficit now is 7 for the Tomcats as Dan Kohler 0 for 1, lined out to Miller in the third.
Now, sometimes it only takes one, and Coach Shalley mentioned in that pregame interview you did, and hitting is contagious. So, if they get one, might open the floodgates a little bit. Opportunity for another one with a runner on third here.
Line drive, pulled in by the shortstop. Kennett, throw to first. Double play once again. Paul Ewell gets the double play, this time on a liner to Kennett, and the throw handled by Heisen at first to get the runner Trinich off the bag. Third double play turn by the Saints today. Thiel does crack the scoreboard, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 left stranded. Score after 5, it is Thomas More 8, Thiel 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It is 8-1 Thomas More over the Thiel Tomcats after 5 innings. Thiel getting on the board in the bottom of the 5th on an RBI single by Cody Trinich. We now move to the top of the 6th inning, as staying on in relief is Parker Myers. He'll face the top of the Saints order, David Kennett, Jason Handley, and Ryan Darner. Now for the top of the 6th inning, for this half inning, we'll be joined by St. Vincent head coach Mick Janosko. Coach, thanks for joining us here mid-game in Game 1 of the PAC tournament. You know, after reaching the tournament last season, the Bearcats back again this year. Last year, the first time the Bearcats have been in the PAC tournament. Back again this year. You know, having been here before, what's the confidence like for your team coming into the tournament today?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I think that the fact that we were in the tournament last year gave some of our younger guys some good experience, realizing what it takes to make the PAC tournament. You know, we're not as deep as we were last year, but our key guys had outstanding years this year for us. And I think, again, the fact that they were in the tournament last year, they know what it takes to win the close games to reach a tournament, really was a full advantage for us.
First batter of the inning, David Kennett with a ground ball to shortstop Cody Trinich. Trinich fires on to Smith at first base. 6-3, the first out of the top of the 6th, brings up Jason Handley. Handley 0 for 3 today as the Saints lead this one 8-1 over the Thiel Tomcats. Pitch from Myers, fastball called strike. It's been an up-and-down year for St. Vincent so far to this point as we talk with St. Vincent head coach Mick Janosko here in this top of the sixth. What's the ride been like for you and your team this season? We'll get to that question here momentarily. Ground ball to third, quick throw to first, staying on the bag. At first base is Trent Smith, so the out goes 5-3. And as luck would have it, usually we have a quick inning whenever we have a guest. So, Mick Janoska, we can keep you for another half inning if you'd be so willing. But nonetheless, what's been the ride like for your team this season? Give us a feel for what the clubhouse has been like.
Well, we got off to a good start in the conference, and I think that was crucial for us in the sense that, again, anytime you start a year and you start conference play, you want to get off to a good start, and we certainly did that. The pitching this year, we've basically relied on 3 starters and a few relievers. Here we are, we're at the end of our regular season. I still don't know who my 4th starter is. So, but we've relied on a lot of guys this year, and the key guys have been outstanding. And there's been times where we've gotten good pitching, played good defense, we just didn't hit the ball. And there's been other days where we hit the ball, we just don't get good pitching. So. It's been one of those years, but our guys have learned how to battle through it. And again, it's here we are, and it's credit to the players.
Now Ryan Darner hits a line drive off the glove of reliever Parker Myers. The carom off of his glove rolled all the way to first baseman Trent Smith, who put the tag down on Darner running up the first base line. So the final out of the inning goes 1-3 in the top of the 6th. Scores Thomas More 8, Thiel 1. We'll just keep you on here and chat with you in between innings before the bottom of the 6th. So again, the score 8-1 Thomas More over Thiel as we move toward the bottom of the 6th, and we continue our conversation with St. Vincent head coach Mick Janosko. Brad Burkhart became the school's all-time hits leader earlier this year. Has been a major contributor since his freshman year. Tell us about Burkhart and how nice it's been to coach a player like him.
Well, I mean, first of all, he's not only is he a good baseball player, he's a tremendous person, incredible work ethic, and he's working just as hard this year as a senior than he did his freshman year, and that to me is a crucial sign of a true competitive athlete, one who never settles for some successes. He's always looking to get better. He's very hard on himself, which I think most good quality athletes are. Every once in a while I got to remind him that he is in fact human, but just an outstanding player. It's definitely going to be a little bit different next year when I make the lineup and I can't put number 8 at shortstop for us.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning is Doug Farley for the Thiel Tomcats. Thomas More holding an 8-1 lead. Farley has reached twice today, once on a walk and once on a single. Takes strike 1 from Paul Ewell. Now, you recently won your 300th career game as a coach, Coach Janosko. What was it like to win number 300?
Very humbling. And I've said this to a lot of people who have asked me about that. The players deserve all the credit. They're the ones that are doing the heavy lifting. They're the ones that are, doing the 6 a.m. practices and putting in the time and the effort. And we've had good quality people over the years. That's just as important as well. Kids that understand that the only way you're going to be successful is through hard work and focus. It was a very humbling milestone for me. I also told people too, sometimes if you stick around long enough, sooner or later you're bound to do something right. So, it's been a good experience.
1-2 the count on Doug Farley. Takes outside from Ewell. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, I think you've done a lot of things right by judging by your record and such at St. Vincent, and you've done a terrific job as the 2-2 pitch comes in and reaching out, slapping this one towards shallow right center. Coming in, though, to make the grab is Ryan Darner, the right fielder for the Saints. 1 away now in the bottom of the 6th. 8-1 Thomas More over the Thiel Tomcats as Eric King will stand in next. And every head coach in this year's PAC tournament has had a successful tradition of winning and building winning programs. And what can you say about your fellow head coaches in this tournament?
Well, they're 4 very good head coaches. First of all, I think that Joe Shalley has done an outstanding job at Thiel. I've known Joan for quite some time. I played for his dad at Marietta, and Joe was actually my catching coach there my first year. So the tradition of Marietta and what his father did there has followed Joe to Thiel. Joe's a very good baseball person. He understands the game, but he also understands too that the game is bigger than the game itself is bigger than anything, and he wants to make sure that he has good kids and good quality individuals, and he certainly has that. Jeff Moulton has done a terrific job here at W&J, has always fielded a solid team. And again, the credit to him, he's done an outstanding job with recruiting. and he has good quality ball players. Coach Hetzer at Thomas More, outstanding coach, very quiet, doesn't really say a lot, but he always has good quality ball players. So when you look at those three programs, I'm not ashamed to say I would like to be like those three programs.
Well, as the case would have it, we have another quick hitting on our hands. Eric King with a ground ball that was fielded by Travis Miller at third. Throw across the diamond for out number 2. And then Eric Steininger follows up with a quick at-bat, rolls out to shortstop David Kennett. Final out there goes 6-3. So 1-2-3 frame for Paul Ewell to end the bottom of the 6th inning. Coach Janosko, thanks for your time in chatting with us throughout the 6th inning, and good luck to you and your squad in this PAC championship.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
No problem at all. That, again, was Mick Janosko, head coach of the St. Vincent Bearcats. Score here from Ross Memorial Park in Game 1. It's Thomas More 8, Thiel Tomcats 1. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Cody Macon leading off for the Thomas More Saints, and he rips a 1-0 pitch down the right field line and in fair territory into the corner as it rolls foul, and that is a leadoff double for Cody Macon. So into the corner and right. It's another double for Macon. He has 2 two-base hits on the day, and part of a 2-for-4 effort. Leadoff double in the top of the 7th, with the Saints already leading 8-1.
After a couple of 1, 2, 3 half innings, Macon starting off the top of the 7th with a bang. And Thomas More, again, another runner in scoring position.
And we welcome back in Justin Pyles on the PAC Sports Network. Craig Heisen stands in next. Heisen reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 4th. He takes outside from Parker Myers, working in relief, ball 1. And Myers from the stretch takes a look at the runner at second, deals a 1-0 fastball fouled away by Heisen. Runs the count to 1-1. We had the pleasure here mid-game to talk with Jeff Mountain of the W&J Presidents and Mick Janosko, the St. Vincent Bearcats, the head coaches that will be going head-to-head in Game 2, starting at 6 p.m. today, St. Vincent and W&J. Roller to second, played by Eric King. Easy casual out at first base. The positive out, though, is Macon advances to third. Runner at third with 1 away now for Travis Miller.
It looked like Heisen was a little frustrated that he grounded out on that pitch, but you know what? He was a productive out, able to move runner Macon from second to third, so 1 out. And possibility now of a sacrifice fly for the Saints if a ball's hit deep enough into the outfield.
Myers to Miller. Off speed pitch, drops in the zone for strike 1. Miller, an RBI double his last time up. He scored 2 runs today. 1 for 2, hit by a pitch back in the 4th as well. 0-1 fouled away. And now behind 0-2, but I'll tell you what, Miller has had a fine day today. Not only with what he's done at the plate, that's mild compared to what he's done in the field this afternoon at third base. Had a very good day defensively. Myers with the kick in the 0-2, fastball away. Pops out of the glove, but just rolls a few feet away from Dan Kohler. He's able to recover and keep that runner at third, Cody Macon. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Saints on top 8-1. 1 out, runner at third. As Myers with the wide and the 1-2. Curveball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another good stop by Kohler. PAC Sports Network will have coverage of this entire tournament of the PAC Baseball Championships. 2-2 pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove, held on to by Kohler. Strike 3 on the fastball. Miller is out number 2.
Myers has some good speed on his fastball. Saw him play in high school at Bethel Park. He didn't have the speed like he does right now. It looks like he gained probably 5, maybe 10 miles an hour on that fastball since his high school days. Got some good pop.
First strikeout of the day for Myers in relief. Has allowed only 1 hit since entering in the 5th inning. David Etchide won't go after the first pitch that's low and away, ball 1. Etchide 2 for 3 today. RBI single in the 4th, RBI double in the 5th. With 1 duck on the pond at third base, it's a cue shot roller right side of the infield, and it's booted by the first baseman, Smith. That'll allow another run to score. E3 brings home Macon, and it's now 9-1 Thomas More. And that's a play where, really, that's the second baseman's ball. Trent Smith way too far to his right to play that one. Would have been an easy out if you just let King play it.
That's an easy out if either of them play, but they have to smother it. You mentioned it being a cue shot, so it's got that weird spin coming off the bat. If you don't field it cleanly, it's going to kick away from you. That's exactly what happened on that instance. But you're right, Randy. It's a second baseman's ball, but the first baseman was definitely in position to field it. He just needs the pitcher over there. Myers was over there covering first, just needs to come up with that cleanly.
Even with that, as you said, if he plays it cleanly, you still get the out. But nonetheless, the E3 keeps the inning going and adds on another run for Thomas More, as they have more than taken advantage of the 5 Thiel miscues today for this 9-1 lead. Scored 6 unearned runs in the 4th inning. And now another unearned run here in the 7th for the 9-1 pad. Marcus Wolfel fouls off the first pitch for a strike, and on the 0-1 is brushed by the pitch on the left sleeve. Hit batsman pushes Etchide to second. 2 on now for Brad Popham. Now Wolfel not afraid of that inside pitch. Almost borderline and kind of leaning that left shoulder out.
And some guys know how to get hit by that pitch without it looking too obvious. They're used to taking that pitch off the spongy part of the arm, whether it's off the forearm or up towards the shoulder.
Myers, curveball, strike on the outside corner to Brad Popham, strike 1. 9-1 Thomas More, top of the 7th. And stepping off the mound is Myers to look Etchide closer to the second base bag. Neither of the middle infielders close to second, so no worries of a throw. 0-1 pitch fouled away by Popham, now behind 0-2. Nine runs on 9 hits for Thomas More today. Thiel 1 run on 4 hits, 5 errors by the Tomcats, including 1 in this 7th. 0-2 pitch, fastball, ground ball to second. Knocked down by King, juggled it for a moment, recovers at his feet, throw to first, and that ends the frame. A leadoff double, a run scored, 1 error, and 2 left on. 7th inning stretch time at Ross Memorial Park. The score after 6.5. It's Thomas More 9, Thiel 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park, as it is 9-1 Thomas More over the Thiel Tomcats. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4, 5, and 6 batters due up for the Tomcats. Jared Nana, Trent Smith, and Nick Schiavone. as Paul Ewell has allowed just 1 run today. 1 run on 4 hits to this point. And Nana, the designated hitter, big power hitter for the Tomcats, but time and time again today, he's been at the plate with more or less not many opportunities to drive in runs. And Nana takes low from Ewell, ball 1.
And Paul Ewell working in the bottom of the 7th. That's a key, too, for Thomas More. Obviously, with 9 runs, the offense put up, it's easy to pitch in, but Paul Ewell's done a great job of limiting Thiel base runners and being able to stay in this game into the 7th inning and saving that Saints bullpen. Obviously, it's a tournament, so there's more games to be played after this one. And the first game is key. Not only do you like to win it, but you also want to keep your rotation intact. And so far, Paul Ewell's done just that, put the Saints in position to win, but it's also been the only one throwing the ball out there on the mound so far for Thomas More.
Ewell with the 1-0, the 1-1 up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nana, right-handed hitter on the 2-1 pitch. Takes on the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And talking with Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Saints, in our pregame interview, he said one of the keys for his team in this tournament, of course, he feels that they have a great advantage with their bullpen. 2-2 going around on the breaking ball. Nana comes up empty for strike 3. 1 away now in the 7th. That's the 2nd strikeout for Ewell today. But Coach Hetzer for Thomas More, he spoke of one of the big keys for them is getting their starters deep into the game so that they can utilize their bullpen the way you would like. And, well, Paul Ewell doing exactly what Coach Hetzer would like to see here this afternoon, going into the 7th inning. And already 1 down is Trent Smith, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Goes after the first pitch, ground ball, backhanded by second baseman Wolf. Will throw to first. 2 outs now in the 7th very quickly.
And one of Thomas Moore's greatest weapons in their rotation or in their pitching on their pitching staff is David Etchide at the back end of the bullpen. So in a 9-1 game, you'd think unless something gets out of hand in the next 2 innings, you won't even see him. So he'll be fresh and rested for tomorrow's action.
Nick Schiavone, 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 5th. The lone run for the Tomcats today as they trail at 9-1. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 7th. This breaking ball stays upstairs for a ball. And Schiavone on the 1-0 skies this one to center. Backpedaling toward the left center field gap is Cody Macon to make the catch, and quietly the Tomcats retired in the 7th inning. Score after 7. It is Thomas More 9, Thiel 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
We move to the top of the 8th inning, 9-1. Thomas More leading the second-seeded Thiel Tomcats. The Saints, the 3rd seed in this tournament. And Thomas More, certainly a squad that has won their fair share of PAC crowns. Missing out on a championship last year, but winning back-to-back titles in 2010 and 2011. And Thomas More has earned a spot in each of the last 8 PAC tournaments. So they've been regulars here in the PAC tournament and getting the job done to this point here through 7 innings. It's 9-1 Saints leading off the top of the 8th. And accepting strike 1 is David Kennett, who's had a fine day. He's 3 for 4, 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base to his credit this afternoon. 0-1 from new pitcher Pat Duncan brings the strike, 0-2. Pat Duncan, a right-hander, into the contest here for the Tomcats. And gets a slow roller to short. Played by Cody Trinich. Charges, throws, and retires Kennett. One away in the 8th. Totals on Pat Duncan this year: 8 appearances, 1 start, 0-2 with a 6.16 ERA in 19 innings. Has struck out 7 and walked 7.
He replaced Parker Myers, 2 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. It was unearned, did not walk a batter, but did hit a batter and struck out 1.
Jason Handley takes a fastball on the outside edge for a strike. Handley 0 for 4. 9-1 Saints. Foul tapper behind home plate on the fastball. Runs the count to 0-2. Now showing some good heat, Pat Duncan.
Yeah, all the arms we've seen today from Thiel can bring it. I mentioned Myers' fastball was popping earlier. Duncan's looking good. And, of course, Ross Miller started off the game. He can throw heat as well.
0-2 off the plate this time with the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Has been working that outside edge, but this time Handley not tempted. 1-2. That catches a piece of Handley. Offering that gets away. Went to the curveball that time, but you could tell off the release didn't have the handle he would have liked. So hit batsman puts a man on. Jason Handley is at first for Ryan Darner. Darner reaching twice today by way of Tomcat errors. He's 0 for 4. Outside for a ball. Glad to have you along today on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Pyles. As a ground ball, fair ball up the third base line, and this will roll toward the quarter. Cut off by Steininger, and that will keep the runner at third base. So good job getting that ball quickly, Eric Steininger, as that'll keep Handley at third base. Darner, though, with the double. 2 on in scoring position for Cody Macon.
By my count, that's the 5th double for Thomas More this afternoon. Up and down the order. Really getting production throughout the lineup, and another threatening situation here to score again.
Yeah, 5 doubles today for Thomas More, 3 in the 5th inning alone. And with 2 in scoring position, Macon takes outside, or excuse me, on the outside edge, rather, for strike 1.
Infield coming in.
Macon takes outside again for a ball. Yeah, infield pulled in for Thomas, or excuse me, for the Thiel Tomcats. Trying to conserve any more runs. They're already behind by 8. Don't want to fall behind by any more. 1-1 pitch from Pat Duncan. Breaking ball stays low and away to the left-handed hitting Macon. Now Macon loves to have runners on in front of him. He's already cracked 2 doubles today. Has scored 3 times. No RBIs yet. And on the 2-1 pitch, pops this one up. Third base side, foul territory. The shortstop will call for it. Cody Trinich. 2 away. So big out there for Pat Duncan, as that'll keep the runners at second and third. And that one caught in foul territory by Cody Trinich. So as the runners stay put, it's Craig Heisen. Heisen 0 for 4 with a run scored. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. And Heisen fouls it straight back for strike 1. Stay tuned at 6 p.m. We'll have our second game of day 1 of PAC championship play. St. Vincent, the 4 seed, taking on the homestanding and top-seeded W&J Presidents.
There's some history with that matchup, too. Last year, St. Vincent, as a 4 seed, upset W&J on this field, that opening round.
1-1 fastball, a strike on the outside edge to Heisen. Now behind 1-2. 2 outs, 2 on, 9-1 Saints over the Tomcats. Kick in the 1-2 from Duncan. Fastball well off the plate. And last year it was the tournament opener. W&J upset by St. Vincent, although they would get revenge later on in the tournament with a 10-4 victory in day 2 that would knock St. Vincent out. with their second loss.
President's forced into the loser's bracket, then went all the way to the championship game.
2-2 liner, left center field, base hit. One in to score. Here comes Darner. He'll cross the plate as well. Throw gets away on the infield, and now they've got the runner at first hung up. That is Heisen, tagged out by first baseman Smith, so that'll end the inning. But the 2-run single, the second run did cross the plate before the final out. 2-run single by Craig Heisen makes it a 10-1 score now for the Thomas More Saints. So Handley and Darner do cross on the 2-run single by Heisen. Score after 7.5. Thomas More, 11-1 the score for Thomas More. My apologies on the 2-run single. The score after 7.5, it is Thomas More 11 and Thiel 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Ryan Jenko leading off the bottom of the 8th inning, pinch hitting for Trent Mosley. The score 11-1 Thomas More. I'm certain of it now. Thomas More with that 11-1 lead. 11 runs on 11 hits. The final out of the inning going 8-3 at first base is the 2-0 pitch to Jenko is a called strike.
If you get stuck again, they have a big lighted scoreboard in left field.
Thanks. I'll keep my eye on that. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Saints today. 2-1 line drive off the mound and up the middle. Base hit for Jenko. Leadoff single in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Brian Jenko, the freshman from Strongsville, Ohio. Hitting .231 before that AB. The leadoff single, and now it's Cody Trinich.
4th time in 8 innings, Thiel's had the leadoff base runner on. Just 1 run so far, though.
Pitch upstairs to Trinich for a ball. RBI single in the 5th, 1 for 2 overall. 6-run 4th inning really has been the determining factor in this game. All of those runs were unearned. 3 Tomcat errors, a part of that 6-run frame for the Saints, and it's been no looking back ever since. Now 11-1 Thomas More as Paul Ewell looks over the runner at first, brings the 1-0. And a called strike, fastball on the outer edge. And anytime Ewell has had base runners on, his defense has turned 3 double plays today, 2 of which on lineouts. 1-1. And a ground ball roll to Miller. Diving play to his left on his knees, throw to second. They get the out there. And nowhere near the second base bag was Jenko, as there's no throw to first. The lead runner retired 5-4. Did Jenko perhaps think that was caught on the line?
I don't know, but he was barely off the dirt when that throw was made to second base to retire him, so he must have. I wasn't really looking down towards first during the play, but you're right, he was nowhere to be found near the second base bag.
Likely would have been out anyway, so it's really a moot point as Trinich is on the fielder's choice. Dan Kohler takes strike 1. 5-4 on the out at second.
Travis Miller continues his stellar day of defense.
Yeah, continues. He has been outstanding at the hot corner this afternoon. That time was a diving play to his left and the throw from his knees, and he could take his time, and that's actually even more a credit to him. He knew he had all the time in the world, so he didn't rush himself. Just took his time and lobbed that one over to second base. 0-1 pitch, popped up by Kohler, and into shallow right field, backpedaling second baseman. Woelfel makes the catch. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th as it is 11-1 Saints. Doug Farley singled in the 4th, walked in the 1st, part of a 1-for-2 afternoon. Ewell, the southpaw, with the pause and the pitch. Good breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Oh, another key to success for Paul Ewell today. He's been out in front of just about every hitter he's faced. Brings the 0-1, ground ball to second. On 2 hops, played by Woelfel into his midsection. He'll flip to Kennett. Oh, and Kennett cannot hang on. Runner is safe. Kennett juggled that flip from Woelfel. And the error for the Thomas More Saints this time will keep the Tomcats bottom of the 8th going. That'll be an E6 as Kennett just flat out dropped it. So Trinich safe at second. Farley on the E6. Eric King stands in. Walked in the 4th. He's 0-for-2. 11-1 Saints in the bottom of the 8th. Curveball, strike 1. First error for Thomas More today. Just moments ago on that E6. 0-1 pitch. High fly ball to right. Darner backpedaling. Finds it, makes the catch, hitting over. A base hit, an error, 2 left stranded after 8. It is Thomas More 11, Thiel 1. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just-for-guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Thomas More in command today in Game 1 of the PAC Baseball Championships with an 11-1 lead over the Thiel Tomcats. And Thomas More, 4 more opportunity to add on to their pad in this top of the 9th. Travis Miller takes strike 1. And Travis Miller continues his fine day defensively, and another diving play from his third base spot in the bottom of the 8th as he fouls off, foul tip into the glove of Thiel catcher Dan Kohler, strike 2. Still working in relief is Pat Duncan, his second inning of relief. Gave up 2 runs in the 8th, and on the 0-2 pitch, Miller fly ball right center field, and slicing away from center fielder Farley gets down in the gap for a base hit as Schiavone cannot get to it, rolls underneath his glove, and heading all the way to third is Travis Miller to start this 9th inning.
Another extra base hit for Thomas More. Miller cruising into third to lead off the inning.
So a triple for Miller to start the ninth is David Etchide. Has reached base 3 times, a couple of RBIs, a single, double, and runs scored to his credit. Nobody out, runner at third. 11-1 Saints. Foul ball straight back to the screen. Right-hander Duncan. Kicks and deals. Fastball inside to the right-handed hitting Etchide, trying to tie him up as he pulls the bat back in toward his chest, but it is ball 1. 1-1. Inside again. 2-1 for Duncan, working here against Etchide.
Not afraid to work both sides of the plate. Seen him go inside quite a lot here in his appearance.
Fastball high now, 3-1. The big inning in this game, a 6-run fourth for the Thomas More Saints, all runs unearned. 3 errors by the Tomcats in that frame. 3-1 pitch from Duncan. Up and in at the letters, ball 4. Etchide draws the free pass. Runners at the quarters with nobody out now in the ninth. Marcus Wolfel, 2-run single and a run scored. A part of that 4th inning. Overall 1 for 3 today, hit by pitch in the 7th. With action at the corners in this ninth. Thomas More, very much the opposite of what they put forth last season, driving in run after run today. Ground ball fair up the third base line. Backhand attempt by Trent Mosley, make that Genter could not get to it on a sliding backhand, and in to score comes Travis Miller. RBI single for Wolfel. Makes it now 12-1 Thomas More. Moving to third is Etchide. Runners at the corners. Still nobody out for Popham. Genter, who pinch hit for Mosley a half inning ago, stays in the game. Duncan's fastball, a strike on the outside edge. Popham 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt to his credit this afternoon. 0-1 popped up out of play. Oh-2, well off the plate for a ball. Wolfel RBI double. I believe I said single. Wolfel RBI double in this ninth inning. He stands at second. Runners at second and third. Brad Popham on the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Duncan knocks it down on one hop throw to first as he scoops it up at his feet. Still on the pitcher's mound dirt. Casually tosses to first. 1-3 goes the out. Runners stay where they're at second and third, 1 away.
Yeah, kind of a self-defense play. And for all the balls that Thomas More has hit today that haven't found a fielder, that one was kind of tailor-made for Duncan, right back into his glove.
There's David Kennett. He's had a fine day at the plate. Goes after the first pitch. Fly ball right center. Moving to his left, Farley makes the catch. Tagging from third is Etchide. He will score. And it's now 13-1 Thomas More. Advancing to third is Wolfel on that sac fly by Kennett. His third RBI of the day. So the Saints continue to pour it on here. 13-1 over Thiel.
They're definitely making a statement in this opening game, and completely the opposite of the feeling that we had from last year's tournament experience from Thomas More, where they just could not score a run despite countless base runners, seemingly base runner in every inning, just unable to plate a runner. Well, today they put across 13 and have another one on third here with 2 outs.
Pinch hitting for Jason Handley is Nick Connor. Connor, sophomore out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and Elder High School. With a runner at third and 2 outs, 13-1 Saints in the top of the ninth. Takes low and in at his feet, the left-handed hitter. Connor batting .257 on the year, 19 hits and 74 at-bats. No homers, 9 RBIs. 1-0 off the plate, 2-0. Kick in the 2-0 from Duncan. Catches the outside corner this time. Brings it to a 2-1 count. Runner third is Wolfold. And the pitch, chopper first base side and foul. We were talking about this being very much the opposite for Thomas More this year. Left 25 on base in their 2 tournament games a year ago. They've scored 13 runs today. And that's just in game 1 alone. Here's a fly ball left center field. Make it 14. RBI single for Nick Connor. Plates Marcus Wolfel from third. And the Saints add on some more.
Connor just stuck his bat out. Ball landed gently in left center field. No Thiel fielder in the area. Able to plate another run. Now when it rains, it pours, and Thomas More getting runs in bunches, especially in the later innings here.
It's one thing to score 6 in that 4th inning, but they have really added on and buried Thiel in this contest.
This game did not start out this way. We had the look of a pitcher's duel through the first 3 innings. Scoreless on the scoreboard.
Ryan Darner, ball 1 inside. The next pitch, swing and a miss. Big cut, strike 1. So Connor at first base after his RBI single. 3 runs in this 9th, making it 14-1 Thomas More. 1-1 pitch with 2 outs inside to Darner. Game 2 today, it'll be W&J against St. Vincent. Number 1 versus number 4 as the seeding goes. The 3rd seed leading the 2 seed in this contest. 14-1, 2-1 pitch. Strike at the knees to Darner. Well, yeah, as we said, it's one thing to score the 6 runs in the 4th, but the Saints just suffocating any breath of life that the Tomcats might have had in this one. High fly ball to right for Darner. Chases Schiavone back toward the fencing, but makes the catch well shy of it for out number 3. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 left aboard. We head to the bottom of the 9th. The score, Thomas More 14, Thiel 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
At Ross Memorial Park, bottom of the 9th inning. Big deficit for Thiel here as they trail it 14-1 to Thomas More. The Saints 6 runs in the 4th inning, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 3 in the 9th. Thiel's lone run crossing the plate in the bottom of the 5th on an RBI single by Cody Trinich that scored Nick Schiavone. Eric Steininger will lead off the bottom of the 9th as Steininger takes up and away for ball 1 from Paul Ewell, who's looking for a complete game effort today. Well, nothing will save the bullpen like a complete game effort from your starter if you're Thomas More. 1-0 pitch is outside, and that's a big deal because Thomas More, one of their strengths is their bullpen.
Yeah, hey, who knows? He might come back and start tomorrow with the way that he's been pitching here this afternoon. Done a great job of keeping Thiel off balance. No real balls hit that hard into the outfield. No extra base hits for Thiel. It's been a great job so far by Ewell keeping these Tomcat hitters off off the bases, off balance at the plate. Really uncomfortable in the box, too.
2-1 pitch in the dirt, kicks away from catcher Brad Popham. 3 balls and 1 strike. New left fielder for the Thomas More Saints, and that is Brandon Nutini. As Jason Hanley was pinch hit for, if you recall, by Nick Connor. So Nutini now out in left. 3-1 pitch from Ewell. And a swing foul tip by Steininger into the glove of Popham for strike 2. Full count now to the leadoff man in this 9th inning. 14-1 Thomas More. And the full count offering. 1 hopper back to Ewell. He'll take his time, throw to first. 1-3 goes the out, and 1 away in the bottom of the 9th.
It's just frustrating to face pitchers like this sometimes. It's coming in there, it almost looks like it's floating. Ewell's not really throwing that hard, but doing a great job of mixing in his pitches. A lot of movement, plus it's coming from that left-handed position. It's just, you see so many swings by these Thiel players where they're out in front. Sometimes they come up empty on that breaking ball, and they're just left shaking their heads. And you can see it. Sometimes it looks like a beach ball, and you can just ground it just back to the pitcher, just like Steininger just did.
Visit.
Ball 1, the first pitch to Jared Nana. And the 1-0. Breaking ball stays upstairs. Two and 0 to the right-handed hitter. DH, Jared Nana. 0 for 3. He's been quiet in this one, but most of the Tomcats have. As Paul Ewell brings a strike. He's allowed, has Ewell, only 5 hits today, has scattered those. Gave up 3 hits in the 5th inning for the only damage against him, that 1 run. 2-1 pitch. Nana takes on the outside corner for strike 2. Doesn't like that call, but
big backdoor breaking ball from Paul Ewell. Knows how to get that pitch called for a strike. Starts outside to a righty, comes back.
2-2, low and away. Full count again on a Thiel batter in this 9th inning. Got Steininger on the full count pitch to bounce out right back to Ewell. See what happens here on this 3-2 to Nana. Foul ball out of play. Nobody on in this bottom of the 9th. Try the 3-2 again. Nana with a rip shot through the left side of the infield, past the diving glove of David Kennett, and into left. 1 out single for Nana.
Well, Kennett got such a read off the bat there. I thought he was at least going to get that, be a diving stop in the infield. I don't know if he had thrown out Nana at first base, but that ball just beyond his reach. A good diving effort.
Trent Smith, 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th inning. Tomcats trying to do anything but go quietly in this bottom of the 9th. First pitch, a breaking ball strike. Lefty versus lefty. 1 away in this 9th inning. Nana at first. And strike 1 on Trent Smith. 14-1 Saints in front. Next pitch, a strike on the outside corner as Ewell has been pinpoint throughout much of the afternoon. Has walked 2 batters, struck out 2. Drawing contact and mostly on the ground, whereas fielders can play it. 0-2, fly ball to center. Cody Macon drifts back, makes the catch. 2 outs now. Heading back to first is Nana. And when there have been fly balls like that one, perfect example, they've been lazy fly balls for the outfielders of the Saints. Ross Memorial Park, located off of I-70 in Washington, Pennsylvania. Might be able to hear some of the traffic driving by over our crowd mic. Thiel down to their final out. Nick Schiavone watches strike 1, fastball from Ewell. Look over at the runner at first. Schiavone accepts ball 1 in the dirt, stopped by Popham. Pitch well in front of home plate. And Ewell, in getting that ball back, taps himself on the chest, says that one's on me. But Paul Ewell doesn't have much to worry about today. He has been masterful this afternoon for the Saints. And If you can throw a complete game in game one, which is just 1 out away from doing, 1-1 pitch, foul ball out of play, that really benefits your team for what they can do tomorrow and in game two. And obviously for Thomas More, they hope that it's just one game tomorrow afternoon, and then they can play on Saturday.
Yeah, full arsenal at their disposal in terms of a pitching staff tomorrow. Sometimes you kind of piecemeal that first game, and then it's more of an all-hands-on-deck. Well, Thomas More has the luxury of having rested arms in that pen.
1-2 ground ball through the left side of the infield, past 2 diving gloves as that seeing eye single gets between Miller and Kennett. And the single by Schiavone moves Nana to second base. 2 on with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. 14-1, Saints leading comfortably over the Thiel Tomcats as Brian Jenko will get his second AB of the night. Singled in the 8th inning, pinch hitting for Trent Mosley, stayed in the game to play third. And Jenko, a chance to keep this one going with Nana and Schiavone aboard. You'll trying to put a bow on this one for the Saints here in game one of the PAC Baseball Championships in this double elimination tournament. So if you're Thiel, obviously you would have preferred to get the win today in this game, but all is not lost. Double elimination, they'll get back at it tomorrow. 1-0. Breaking ball, right in there, strike one.
It happened last year. W&J dropped their opener and went through the losers brackets. Not an easy thing to do. Make it a little more difficult on yourself having to play two games on that second day, but W&J was able to do that and get into the championship game against Westminster last year.
1-1 heater is off the plate outside the right-handed hitting Jenko. 2-1, 14-1, Thomas More. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, 2 aboard. Jenko on the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball, left center field. Ranging to his left, Nutini. Center fielder Macon calls him off, makes the catch in the left center field gap. And that'll do it for game one of the PAC Baseball Championships here in day one. As your final score in the opener, it's Thomas More 14, Thiel 1. We'll come back with a brief recap and then game two of day one play here from Ross Memorial Park. It'll be W&J against the St. Vincent Bearcats. But again, your final in game one, Thomas More 14, Thiel 1. You've been listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this. There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Vigigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Vigigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Vigigroup at info@vigigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
At Ross Memorial Park, the Thomas More Saints with the victory in Game 1 of the PAC Baseball Championships here in Day 1. 14-1 winners over the Thiel Tomcats. And both pitchers, both starters, Nick Rossmiller and Paul Yule, were rolling along through the first 3 innings, and things got ugly in a hurry for the Tomcats in the top of the 4th. 3 errors for the Tomcats defense helped the Thomas More Saints score 6 unearned runs in that frame. And of the RBIs in that inning, David Etchide with an RBI single, Marcus Wolfel with a 2-run single. But really the ball being thrown around by the defense of Thomas More. It started, actually the inning began with an E6 on Cody Trinich to put Ryan Darner on. He moved to second on a passed ball, and really just from that alone, you kind of got the feel that things were not going Thiel's way. And then on a bunt put down by Cody Macon, Rossmiller fielded that bunt through to third to try and get the runner Darner there. Had the throw been accurate, it would have been an out, but the throw was well off the mark. Darner then trotted home. It was 1-0 Thomas More at that point, and really the floodgates open as error upon error, and then hit after hit for Thomas More would make that a 6-run inning for the Saints. 6-0 Thomas More at that point. They would open up the lead to 8-0 by the 5th inning. A leadoff double by Cody Macon. He moved to third on a ground out by Craig Heisen. The RBI double by Travis Miller scored Macon. It was 7-0 then at that point, and then an RBI double by David Etchide brought home Travis Miller to make it 8-0 Saints. Thiel would get on the board in the bottom of the 5th after a leadoff single by Trent Smith. He was erased off the bases on a fielder's choice by Nick Schiavone. Schiavone scored on the moved to third on the Trent Mosley double, then was brought home on an RBI single by Cody Trinich, and Thiel made it 8-1 at that point, but they would come no closer as the Saints added on 1 run in the 7th, scoring on an error in E3 on the on the Thiel first baseman Trent Smith. 2 more runs in the 8th inning, a 2-run single by Craig Heisen, and then 3 runs in the 9th, RBIs by Wolfel, Kennett, and Nick Connor with a pinch hit RBI single, and that took really what was already a hefty lead and just put it to bed for Thomas More. 14-1 today for the Thomas More Saints in Game 1.
Yeah, and the 2 things Thomas More really wanted to accomplish, I think, in this game was, number 1, save their bullpen. They certainly did that. Paul Yule with a complete game, giving up just that 1 run. And the other thing was they wanted to get rid of that bad taste in their mouth from last year's tournament, wanted to drive in some runs, use the opportunities that they had to drive in some runs and really capitalize off of them. And they certainly did that today. They left a few runners on base, but I'm sure Coach Hetzer won't be too worried about that after his team put up 14 on the scoreboard. So well done to Thomas More. They definitely, at least for this game, look like one of the teams that could be in line for that championship game on Saturday. Certainly established themselves in the first game of the tournament for sure.
And 14 runs on 14 hits today for Thomas More. 1 error. Thiel 1 run on 7 hits, 5 errors. And that really is where things got ugly early. Again, as we put it for Thiel, 3 errors in the 4th inning alone helped spur on the Saints to that 6-run lead, and they just added on run after run after that. On the hill today, Paul Yule with a complete game effort, 9 innings, gives up just 7 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He improves to 6-1 with the victory. Nick Rossmiller has been tremendous this year, but he takes the loss, falls to 7-4, gives up 8 runs, just 2 earned out of that. On 8 hits, 4 to third innings, no walks, 1 strikeout for Rossmiller. And in relief, Parker Myers goes 2 2/3, giving up 1 unearned run on 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And Pat Duncan, 2 innings, gives up 5 runs, all earned on 5 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. So again, the winner, Paul Yule, improves to 6-1. Nick Rossmiller takes the loss, falls to 7-4. And as we were speaking about it in the later stages of the game, what Paul Yule was able to do in the first game today for Thomas More, in talking with Coach Hetzer, he said the first game is so important because it really sets the table for the rest of the tournament for you. Not so much, not just, I should say, just in the fact that you won the game, won or lost the game, but also how it all plays out down the road. And with Paul Yule getting that complete game, that leaves a lot at the disposal of head coach Jeff Hetzer here in the future of this tournament.
Yeah, winning that first game, you're not guaranteed that you're not going to play 2 games tomorrow, but at least right now you're looking to, if you win that first game tomorrow, you're in to Saturday, so you don't have to worry about playing a doubleheader tomorrow. If you lose that first game, you know you're automatically faced with two games, and typically you'll go through your bullpen. So right now, even if Thomas More comes back tomorrow, loses their opening game, and drops down into the losers bracket. At least for this game, they have a strong bullpen going forward and really have all the arms at their disposal, except for, I would say, Paul Ewell. I don't know that they'll bring him back on tomorrow, although he was effective today, so you never know.
So as far as the times of these games tomorrow, that is weather dependent. We're expecting some rainstorms, some showers in the area tomorrow in Washington, Pennsylvania. But for Thomas More, they will compete again at this point at noon in the winners game tomorrow, as they have won here today. And then the Thiel Tomcats, they'll take part in Game 2 tomorrow at 3 p.m., originally scheduled at this point. So that's what will take place here from Ross Memorial Park as scheduled. But up next here in Day 1, starting at 6 p.m., the W&J Presidents, the top seed, will face the St. Vincent Bearcats. And that a rematch of a Day 1 upset a year ago where St. Vincent took down the W&J Presidents in Day 1. But again, later in the tournament a year ago, the Presidents would exact revenge, eliminating the Bearcats in that second day of tournament play. So nonetheless, that's what we have next on the docket. 6 p.m. start time, W&J and St. Vincent. Our final so far in Game 1 of the tournament, Thomas More defeating the Thiel Tomcats 14-1 here this afternoon. For my partner, Justin Pyles, I'm Randy Gore. You've been listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips. Stay tuned. We'll have Game 2 of our tournament action coming up in about 45 minutes.